So I thought of an idea for a video because I had an embarrassing thing that happened today that I want to talk about. But I thought of a better subject to talk. I'm going to tell an embarrassing story at the end of this, but I'm going to preface it with a subject I wanted to talk about, which is the worst thing about transitioning that I don't think I was warned about it. I'm sure there's somebody I watch who said something about this, but what is it? What's the worst thing about transitioning that I didn't expect? It's not so much a what, it's a who. Who? Trans chasers, that's who. That's the worst thing about transitioning that I didn't expect. So let's start off talking about that. So one time, this was only how long has it been? This is May, and I started Titty Skittles the day before Charlie Kirk got shot. So it's been like, what, 8 months or something? So this first story, is from, oh wow, look how pretty that is. It's a pretty backdrop. Ooh, pretty backdrop. So, this first story is from when I was only on Titty Skittles for like 3 months, alright? So I was in Walmart in the ghetto, and I'm going out to my motor car, out into the parking lot, and this guy rolls up, this dude rolls up in this little, I won't say what kind of car it was, but it was a car from the 90s that's not common anymore, and it's probably the only one in town anymore, because I don't see those particular kind of cars anymore. But anyways, dude rolls up next to me, and he starts saying something about parking. I'm like, what? And I thought like I was in his way if he needed to park exactly there. So I knew there was something up. So instead of going to my car, I just kept walking straight. Let's just walk straight and just not go to my car for a while. And sure enough, the thing I learned also is never stay in the same spot too long, because then people will just attack you. Because that also happened as well. That wasn't so much a trans chaser, but just a guy who was sissified and bimbified, who thought I was sissified and bimbified, but actually he was the one who was sissified and bimbified. But that's a whole other story. I'll tell that story some other time. So alright, so this freaking guy, he gets out of his car, and then he starts catcalling me. You guys know what? That's funny. One time I told this one guy on Bigot Shoot about, I said something about catcalling. Oh yeah, because I did get catcalled once, like long before I started my transition in 2018. This guy catcalled me in this one restaurant I go to a lot. He thought it meant like calling for his cat from his truck as driving around looking for his cat. His cat calling. That's funny. Ooh, this is kind of hobo-ish. Look at this. Trying to break into there. There's a creepy hobo over there giving me the stink eye. Alright, so let's get on with the damn story. So the guy starts catcalling me. I was dressed similar to this. I had a shirt that was low cut like this, but with short sleeves. And I didn't have like bright green pants like this, but I had some tight gray pants. And he starts like catcalling me, saying I'm sexy, saying I have a sexy ass and all this stuff. And God, there's someone coming, of course. I just can't make a video without weirdos showing up. And then I just ignored him because I figured he was some MAGA guy just like trying to start some bullshit or something, just talking shit about me, right? So then I keep walking, like diagonally through the parking lot, and I get over to like the corner of the parking lot. This guy's gonna have a problem with me. Excuse me? What? Okay. You have to leave that property. So I get to the edge of the parking lot, and fuck, that would have been a good place to record a video. So I was just trying to find some place with fucking shade to record my fucking video. Anyways, I get to the edge of the parking lot, and this guy had rolled up behind me, and then he starts asking me if I'm single and all this shit. I'm like, and then I just say, come on, man. And then I do an evasive tactic, and this fucking weirdo still following me? Yeah, they're rehabilitating the shopping center. Of course, I picked some place where they're gonna have a problem with me being here. I'm gonna go stand over here though, by the noisy road. Here. They'll probably come around and get butthurt that I'm here though. Okay. God, there's always some weirdo, so. Fuck. God, that guy over there has his pants like fully down. I had to pause the recording. Okay, so I evaded, and then it's so fucking noisy here. Okay, that's better. So I evaded this guy. I went and hid. I went home by a different means, and I changed my clothes, and I came back later, way later, just to make sure this weirdo didn't see me getting into my motor car. And while I was doing all that, I thought like, oh, I felt kind of bad, like, oh, maybe he was sincere. But I told this story on another channel, and the person said the best thing ever. They said, like, you know, that's very affirming when that happens, but they were saying this to me, because they're a trans woman too. They're saying, that's really affirming when that happens, but you gotta remember that people like that. I had to pause it because there was a random person sitting there on their phone. Anyways, they were saying, you gotta remember that people like that, they don't see you as a woman, they see you as a woman-shaped object. And it's like, yep. Because, they're just a weirdo trans chaser. And so let me tell the second trans chaser story, the one that's more relevant. So, when I was earlier in my transition, I used to only use the men's room. I would never even consider using the women's room, just from a lifetime of that being pounded into my brain that you'll burn in hell forever if you even look into the women's room. So one time I just went to the men's room at this one mall over here, just to wash my hands actually, and there was this weird younger guy, like in his 20s, sees me go in the men's room, then he gets a fucking target lock on me, and then he follows me into the men's room. Let's see if I can go around here. Yeah, we're good. He follows me into the men's room, and then he's like, hi, and I'm like, okay. And I wash my hands, and I leave, and then he's still just in there. Just, you know, I have actually told this story on other videos before. So, yeah. So that's why I basically don't want to use the men's room now, and I haven't been. Because I've been yelled at for using the men's room. I went to this one burger place. I didn't even go there to get into the sun. I just went there to use the bathroom because it was the most convenient place, and I go in the men's room. And there's this hobo in there shaving, and he yells at me. He's like, oh, you can't be in here. And I said, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm a fucking tranny. I'm from this town where I'll be stabbed for using the women's room. Shut the fuck up, bitch. And I go in the toilet stall, and I'm pissing, and then I'm all like, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore as he's shaving, you know? Play with my hair a little bit. So now I use the women's room, and I actually haven't used the men's room in a while. But I usually use the gender neutral bathroom if they have that. But if they don't, I'll just use the women's room because basically I find that to be the safer option because I don't really want attention from trans chaser weirdos, and that's the problem with trans chasers, that I wasn't warned about, that when they see you, when you out yourself by going in the men's room, then you have the potential of having weird attention from weird trans chaser guys. I talked to this one other trans girl, one of the ones that's doing my electrolysis, and I was like, because I was talking with her a lot when we were doing my electrolysis, and I was like, do trans masculines get trans chasers? And she was all like, actually, yeah. I'm like, I was thinking about it, and it's like, that actually makes sense. Check it out, like, because like trans chasers, men that are after trans women, they like want to get dick, but they're in denial about being gay, so they think like, oh, if I get with a trans woman though, I can get dick, but like it won't be gay though technically because they're feminine presenting. And then there's other men that are also trans chasers, cis men of course, in both cases, that are trans chasers, and they go after trans masculines because they are gay. They want to be with a man, but they get with a trans man. They chase after trans men because they're like, well, they have a female, parts. That's not gay. Like, in both cases, because they have gay tendencies, but they're just like, see, like transphobes and homophobes, they're just caught up on it technically, bro. Like, technically, bro. Like, you're thinking about this. You're like trying to mental gymnastic. If you should really just be honest with yourself, and like, if you're trying to mentally gymnasticize your way through something, then maybe you're the one with the problem. So let me tell my embarrassing story. Because what good is the internet if you don't use it to post embarrassing stories of yourself? So today, I go into this one hardware store because that's part of my strat. Is usually there's not like a lot of women at hardware stores, so it's a good place for me to use the women's room. And I had to take a shit. So I go to do that, and there's this woman cleaning it, and she's like, I don't know if she's even like working. I think she was just like pretending to work or something, because she's just in there messing around, like just forever, and I just waited for like a half an hour. And meanwhile, there's other cis women coming and going, and I'm like, making sure, like, okay, that cis woman, and making sure all the cis women come out of the bathroom. Thought some weirdo was poking around the corner over there. So I finally get a window of opportunity where all the cis women have then came to the bathroom, and the woman who's cleaning the damn thing, she's in the little middle closet. So I'm like, now's my chance. So I zoom in there into the big stall, and I take my shit, and I had a bottle of water to help, like, to basically use like a bidet to help wipe myself, because I didn't have like wet wipes. This is really getting embarrassing, because generally when I take a shit in a public toilet, it's like the nastiest dirty up your butt shit that there is. That's just what my body does because it's a jerk. And the other part of my strat is I have disposable gloves I put on. So put the first pair, take the shit, wipe, and then take them off, throw them in the trash, and then take the second pair off, put the second pair on, and I use that to tuck myself, pull up my underwear, and then I take them off and I put them like this on something, and then I pull up my pants and stuff, and then I take the gloves that have been put inside out from taking them off. I use them to open the door and then just leave, because that way I can just leave and not have to wash my hands. So I did that strat. When I finished taking a shit, I kind of like peered through the door crack to make sure like there's no one, and there was another cis woman there taking a shit or something. So like, I gotta go now before she comes out of the stall. Because the thing is, you just don't want to like, trans people just want to go to the bathroom and like not have people have a problem with them. And I'm semi-passable. Like, that's the thing, like, I've gone to the men's rooms, like, there's been like 30 fucking times when I've gone to the men's room and men walk in and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, they think they're in the women's room. So yeah, I'm sort of passable, I think, if they react that way. And I don't need like, and who knows what kind of deranged stuff because they obviously seem to think I'm a woman, because I am not exactly like a cis woman, but a type of woman. Like, I'm not a man. Like, I can't. See, that's the thing, is like, you guys that believe the cartoon level propaganda, you think that I'm gonna like go in there and assault women. I've had multiple chances to get laid with cis women if I so desired, but I don't have it in me to use my parts like that, because that's just not how I'm wired. That's just not the way I am, to use my parts like that. I don't even like these parts down there. That's why I keep them shoved up inside of me every waking minute of the day. I'm like, is someone gonna come fuck with me for being here? I found a good place to record the video, so surely someone's gonna come fuck with me for being here. There's music playing in there. It's gonna give me a copyright strike. That's like the other way that gets you. You find a good place to record a video, and then they copyright strike you from the background music. So if you think that like trans people are gonna go in the bathroom, like, I go through so much trouble to medically transition. It's an ordeal. I'm not gonna go into detail with that, but like every little thing involved in my medical transition is an ordeal. It's a mountain of pain and misery to deal with it. See that thing over there? Let's see if I can get it. Hold on, let me walk over here so you see it better. See that thing over there? Way off in the distance? That's the Attack on Titan wall. I live on the other side of that. And to get all my gender affirming care, I have to come through that. I have to go back through that after I'm done recording this. I'm gonna go get popcorn and stick 3 frames of film to something backlit in the lobby and take my popcorn and go home and watch a movie on home video. Which is the one with Tommy Lee Jones, or not Tommy Lee Jones, Denzel Washington. I can't remember. Not important anyways, but like, my point is, why would I be doing all this just to like get in trouble for assaulting a woman in the bathroom? When does that make any sense to you guys? Because if your guys' narrative was true, I could just, oh shit, there's someone coming. Okay, I didn't think he saw me. If your guys' narrative was true, all I would do is just like wear women's clothes and just like go in there and do that. But that's not what I'm doing though, because I'm not even interested in doing things like that with the sexual organs that I was born with. I don't even like this. Like, do you guys understand? I couldn't even get it up anymore before HRT because I'm so disgusted with what I have that I couldn't even like get it up anymore, because if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing. And I hadn't been using it, so I was already losing it before I started taking TD Skittles. Okay, so let's finish with the embarrassing bathroom story. So I'm burst out of the fucking stall. I go straight for the exit. It's kind of like a chicane. I gotta go like this and then like that. I gotta take a tight right and a couple of tight lefts to get out of there. And I fucking try to do it. But when I was in there though, I saw my shoe was dirty, and I have water shoes, right? Let me try to show you that, because they're cheap and make my feet as small as possible, and I can easily replace them for cheap. But I can't find these particular ones anymore, and the ones they replaced them with totally suck and are unusable. But anyways, because I just, I watered off my shoe. It's still dirty though. Fuck. So I had watered off my right foot, and then trying to do the tight right, tight left chicane, quick exit maneuver. That's a bug on me. Crap. Caused me to slip, and I slipped, and I like, maybe if you see a mark on it, I can't. I slipped, and I fell, like, boom. Like, ow, that hurt to do that actually. I fell like that on my knee. On the hard, oh, it hurt to do that still. Oh, I made it hurt again. And then I made kind of a masculine sounding, ow! See, I did it more feminine sounding then, but like, and then the stupid cleaner woman was right there, and she was like, oh, be careful. I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to bitch slap that woman. Like, why are you hanging? Just finish cleaning the bathroom. I don't want you to see me, even though you might not even care or notice, like, the fucking tranny and shit. I try not to use the T slur, honestly, but like, it is honestly one of my favorite words to use, because I am one. I didn't really use it before, but like, being honest with myself and starting my medical transition, it's like my favorite word to self-identify myself, and I try not to use that word because it's considered offensive, but I can't help myself because it's like a really good abbreviation. It's not so much a slur. It's more, well, it's an abbreviation when you use it for automotive transmissions, but then when you refer to it for people, then it becomes a slur. But just no, I don't mean to be offensive. It's just easier. It kind of rolls off the tongue easier. I find it to be a good abbreviation, even though it's kind of offensive. So whatever. So that's the story. I slipped and hurt myself, and then was noticed anyways. And then I quickly left, and then I came here and recorded this video, and it's because of trans chasers. If I didn't have these experiences with trans chasers, I probably would have just used the men's room and then just dealt with men being awkward about it and shit. And yeah, like, so that's why I use the women's room, because I don't want to draw trans chaser attention, and then who knows what deranged things that the cis men will do. Like, yeah. Maybe, I think some of them think that I'm like a trans, when I was doing that, when I was using the men's room still, I think some of them thought that I was a trans masculine, and that like when you just start taking, what's the funny word for boy, girl to boy HRT? I can't remember the funny words for that. But they think that if you start taking masculinizing HRT, you just get taller and more masculine. Like, do they think that it just happens? And I'm just like, was this cis woman that like still has long hair though, but just started recently taking that shit? So it's just like, because this one time I came out of the bathroom in Ghetto Walmart, and I was as opened the door out of the bathroom, and there was this man there with his child, and he started freaking the fuck out. He started being like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And I just was like, just fucking left the store as quickly as, without running, of course. Just, you know, speed walk the fuck out of there. Like, so what the fuck? Clearly he can tell I'm a T slur, and he's having a problem with me being in the bathroom, but it's like, can you tell that I'm a trans woman? I mean, that's what you guys want, is for trans women to use the men's room, but I'm doing it, and then you're still mad at me. So maybe he thinks that I'm a trans guy, and I don't even know. That's why I prefer to, I have embarrassing pit sweat. That's why I don't like this shirt that much. Oh well. So yeah, it's like, someone needs to make an app of like where all the gender neutral bathrooms are, because I seriously drive out of my way to use, flies keep landing on me. I don't like that. I'm all like getting super, I don't like that. That's bullshit. It's okay, it's just a fly, Billy. It's not gonna hurt you. I get the Billy thing from this guy called Star Gods. He would always have his imaginary son named Billy. He's like, Billy! They do Billy's voice, like, okay, Pa! That's why I have this one surround receiver. I call it Billy. That's where I get that from. By the way, to new subscribers that might possibly have that name, but I wouldn't know. Yeah, so trans chasers are pretty weird. Like, the one trans chaser guy that was literally trans chasing me at Ghetto Walmart, I should have been like, are you like gay or something? I'm like really clocky, bro. Like, this is not the way, like, no, you don't want to date someone like that anyways. That's like, behaves, that's never like a really turn off to me, is people who behave that piggishly. I guess that's all I have to say. Like, stop believing in cartoon level propaganda because it's stupid. And like, you guys think that like just me existing in public as a trans woman is going to turn the kids trans? Like that guy I was alluding to earlier, he thought that just me existing as trans, that's going to turn the kids trans. Oh my God, you're out here promoting this lifestyle just by like existing and like wanting equal rights and protection under the law. Bro, if you don't want me out here with a trans flag, maybe you should stop advocating for people to take away our rights and shit. Then there'd probably be, you know, like, that's the reason that people are peacocking themselves with trans flags and gay flags, because you keep trying to do stuff, or having your minion politicians do stuff to us to take away our rights just for existing and not bothering anyone. So if you don't want us being like in your face about it, just leave us alone. We don't want to. I want to have to do that. I just want to be left alone, live my life. But no, you people just want to like persecute me and like take away my driver's license and make it where like nationally they want to do this thing where nationally in the American Empire you have to have your birth sex on your, even if you're like had the surgery, you like don't look like that sex anymore or sound like that sex. You're like a completely passable person. It's like, so you have to be outed every time you have to show your driver's license. Does that seem okay to you guys? And you guys, you bigot people, like, what makes you think that it's not going to be used against you? What makes you think that the fascism you're proposing to be used against us won't eventually be used against you? Because it will be. And another thing, transphobic people, you might not think you look like a trans man, or you might not think you look like a trans woman. They're talking about transphobic men, and transphobic cis men, and transphobic cis women, each of you respectively. You might not think you look like a trans person, but there could be some deranged person that believes this cartoon level propaganda that's going to see you. Maybe you're a cis woman and you're having a bad day, you like messed up your makeup, all this stuff happened, like Murphy's Law type of thing, and you're not looking super fresh, your hair is messed up, and the lighting is just a certain way, and then some deranged person thinks you're a trans woman and assaults you, or does some other fucking deranged shit, or like calls ice on you or some shit. You don't think that's you don't think that could happen? It very well could. That's the thing about when you advocate for bad things to happen to people, you're advocating for it to happen to yourself, because we all come from the same source consciousness. So what you do unto others will return unto you, eventually, one way or another. So, you know, just protect positive squad, peace and love. Even to the fucking worst people in the world, just gotta love them anyways. Just gotta kiss them on the cheek and say, good little transphobe. Be a little bigot and stuff. Like, oh, I'll tell this story. I'll end with this story. So I was out with my trans flag, and it's one of the last times before I upgraded to the bigger one. Because I had a 3x5 on a 6-foot pole, and I recently upgraded to a 4x6 on a 7-foot pole, but I had the 3x5 still. And there was this old man, a Chevy S10, I think it was a 6 shift too, and he flipped me off when he was waiting for the green light over in Bigotville, which is the closest town on the other side of the Attack on Titan wall. Well, no, it's not the closest town, it's the second closest town, I guess. It's the closest known one, whatever. And I was on Main Street of that town. And so he flips me off right when I have the trans flag, and I just do like this. I go, I blow him a kiss, and he had the funniest reaction. He goes like, ah. Not as bad as that, but like he was like, it fucked him up. He was like, she's like, oh no, I got tranny cooties on me, ah. And then he's just sitting there at the fucking red light being grouchy, and then it turns green, and he was like, I think that's why it's a stick shift. He had his fist down there trying to do the middle finger at me, and he was like getting ready to pull his middle finger up at me again, but he fucking didn't do it. He didn't do it because he didn't want no more kissies. He's like, no, I want to face it. I ruined that old man's life. That old man, the rest of his life is ruined because of me, and that's just so funny. I laugh about that shit. It's funny. It's funny to watch them get so bent out of shape, and meanwhile, all the other people who are allies just fucking cheer me on for walking around with the trans flag, because they admire my bravery, which isn't really bravery on my part. I just don't give a fuck to walk around in such a bigoted place as that place on the other side of the Attack on Titan wall over there with a trans flag, and people fucking cheer me on for that shit. But then, you know, you fucking bigots, like that fucking guy, like, he's just so fucking twisted with hate that, like, getting blown a kiss, like, he's like, I can't flip them off, they're just gonna blow another kissy at me, oh no. So yeah, just love them anyways, just blow them kisses, just love them anyways, just peace and love, and fuck it, dude. People who are evil like that, they've just never been loved, so just love them. Just give them a kiss on the cheek. Tell them you love them and shit. Tell them, like, you know, whatever, dude, just fucking peace and love and shit. Peace out. Protect positive squad. Protect, like, all the undesirable, the people who are considered undesirables. Like, you know, people who are allies and shit, that are cis straight people that are allies, like, you're an undesirable too. They don't want you either. Like, you're just as undesirable, you know what I mean? Like, That's how I refer to me and the LGBT people. I call us the undesirables when I'm discussing this with my family, so they get it, so they understand. Like, yes, we're the undesirables. We're the ones that they don't want. All right, so protect positive squad. Peace and love. You know, bye. Oh, by the way, the name of the movie I'm watching on Blu-ray is Crimson Tide from 1995. Crimson Tide. I don't know why I couldn't remember that.